The SUI network and its ecosystem have pretty much been on fire nonstop since September 2024. Of course, we saw a temporary change yesterday. That was when the Cetus protocol was exploited to the tune of $220 million. So as a result, the Cetus token, that's CETUS, took a major hit, and with it, to various degrees, also other various SUI ecosystem coins. So now really the question is yesterday's event, that exploit, is it going to cool off what has otherwise been the hottest ecosystem in crypto? We don't think so, because it certainly wasn't good news, but there's so much other positive stuff happening with SUI that we think SUI in 2025 is going to continue to do a lot of the things that Solana did in 2021. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. TGIF, all the best of luck if you choose to invest. I genuinely wish you well. Just remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor, which means, of course, by extension, this video is not official financial or investment advice. All right, let's begin here with a broad overview of what's been happening. Let's get caught up with all the news in this particular space. So, DeFi protocol Cetus, they fixed the bug and they've altered other ecosystem platforms to prevent further damage. That's the update right now. Furthermore, Cetus, the SUI Foundation, and Miston Labs, they managed to freeze $160 million. Currently, Cetus is negotiating the return of the missing $60 million, and Cetus offered a $6 million bounty for this. Those are the broad strokes of what happened. If you want to look for a more in-depth analysis of this exploit, check out our article. As with other articles, you can always find them, including this one on altcoinbuzz.io. And by the way, just keep in mind that this was an exploit of a SUI ecosystem platform, but SUI itself was not exploited. SUI and SUI could be affected in the short term, as could WAL, W-A-L, and yeah, other projects not directly involved, but still under the same ownership and kind of the umbrella of the development team. It's kind of how crypto operates, unfortunately, sometimes. We actually like the way that Miston Labs is handling the situation so far, which is arguably a reason to pick up more SUI and by extension selected ecosystem tokens, but that's up to you. They do have the potential to bounce back harder once the aftermath of this, once the dust kind of settles. In terms of other big recent news, however, for SUI Network, and we're getting into the positives now, was the project's integration with Microsoft Fabric. This is for the Microsoft-backed Space and Time mainnet launch. Now, the platform indexes data from major networks. Only Bitcoin, Ethereum, and SUI are initially selected, and the database offers historic, cross-chain, and off-chain data. So, of course, having Microsoft involved in this kind of thing makes it a pretty big news story, especially for a project like SUI, which is much smaller, of course, than Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's in good company considering how exclusive and how short that list is. BTCFi is already big on the SUI network. BTC already takes 10% of SUI's total TVL, total value locked. Now there's a new addition in the form of OKX. They launched XBTC, with SUI being one of the exclusive debut chains. Both Cetus and Navi now offer XBTC on their platforms. Every protocol pretty much wants a slice of that Bitcoin liquidity, and really that makes sense. You can't blame them. But really, SUI is making the most out of this opportunity with already 600 BTC on SUI, and that's since February. Other important and very encouraging news in terms of the metrics that we see is the inflow of stable coins on SUI. For 2 consecutive days last week, SUI led that particular charge. 2 days ago, SUI saw $83.4 million in stablecoin inflows. The previous day saw a $184 million stablecoin inflow. And on both of those days, SUI topped the charts. Now, could this be a reaction to Meta's announcement of renewed stablecoin interest? You may remember halting Libra eventually led to launching the SUI network altogether. And then in related news, SUI has also reached $1 billion in stablecoin TVL. This doubled in the span of only 2 months. And really, the stablecoin news goes hand in hand with SUI's DEX volume. This hit a new all-time high in the last week, which could also link back to that meta interest for stables and generally the stablecoin inflow. Last month, we also saw SUI having the highest TVL growth among all chains. That's where SUI ranks 8th among all other chains across all of them. A lot of people are watching right now very keenly to see if SUI DeFi gets back to these levels, but we think that they will. Now look, the price of SUI is down, but not catastrophically. And we have to remember that SUI went from 78 cents to its all-time high currently as it stands of $5.35 since September 2024. That represents a 7x in 4 months. And if we look back at January to November 2021, by comparison, Solana, whose ticker SOL, they did a 100x during that particular bull run. And look, I've said this many times over now, I do not see SUI doing that kind of a multiplication in 2025. It's not realistic based on the math. However, from where SUI is right now, it's below $4 currently. It could do a 5x, could do a 10x. Like I said, it's down a few percentage points in the last 24 hours. Nothing too dramatic, but that's just due to the Cetus news. We do expect a rebound. We do expect a bounce back. And historically, in the last year, SUI, of course, has been very good historically at bouncing back and recovering after every market dip. If you are an American watching this video, I'm talking to you, because we found an exchange that gives you the best of both worlds. If you want to trade spot markets on over 400 trading pairs and without KYC, you can. If you want to trade perpetual markets on over 150 trading pairs with KYC, that, by the way, accepts Americans and Canadians too, by the way, then you can as well. The only exchange that we've seen in the market that lets you do both simple spot trading without KYC and perps trading with KYC that Americans can actually use is BYDFi. And they have a great new promotion going on right now in which you can win a Rolex. BYDFi gives you all the tools that you need without the crazy requirements. And right now that promotion means you can win some great prizes, again, including a Rolex. The promotion goes from now through June 6th. So you still have time to take part. After you sign up for your BYDFi account or log in if you have one already, here's what you have to do. If you trade at least $1,000 worth, then you get a $35 bonus credited to your account. But prizes move up from there and include AirPods, an iPad, a new iPhone 16, a cool Louis Vuitton backpack, and again, finally, a Rolex Submariner with a retail value of $10,000. Those are some sweet prizes for doing what you'd already likely be doing anyway, by trading on a tier 1 exchange like BYDFi. If you haven't checked out BYDFi yet, now is the time given these incentives. Just use the link below to sign up, don't KYC, and start trading to get your bonuses. Let's now take a closer look at SUI's technical side and some of the improvements that it can boast there, because at the end of the day, that is the backbone of the SUI network. So, for example, you probably already know that SUI uses the Move coding language. This had an upgrade to Move VM 2.0, which allows for 30 to 65% faster transactions, even under duress and heavy load, which of course is great for things like blockchain gaming. Remora allows for scaling without limitations, which in turn allows for hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. This keeps transactions cheap as a result for us. Pilotfish is another feature that increases scalability. It enables single validators to use various machines. In essence, Pilotfish increases throughput, meaning that it allows the execution of more transactions when the load increases. The Move Registry, or MVR, is kind of like the SNS or SUI name service. It gives Move packages a human-readable name. That's instead of the standard 64-character hex addresses, right? This, in turn, allows for better transparency and interoperability. And look, all of this may be a little bit boring in terms of how it sounds, but this is what makes SUI what it is. A fast and low-cost layer 1 that has the potential in 2025 to rival some of the things that Solana did in 2021. SUI also welcomed Axelar's Bridge, which gives builders and institutions scalability and better multi-chain options. Axelar combines this with built-in compliance and audit capabilities. It also offers institutional-grade security and simple UX features, user interface. Just think of SUI's ZK login for onboarding. Li.fi is another new bridge for SUI. This allows for swaps and bridging across EVM, Solana, and Bitcoin. And then we have Kraken, which is the latest centralized exchange to offer transfers for native USDC on SUI. Binance, by the way, is another centralized exchange that already offers this, which shows that adoption for SUI's native USDC is on the rise. In terms of SUI's ecosystem projects, these are some very, very strong platforms in the space. We're going to take a closer look at some of them in particular, beginning with Walrus Protocol. Their token is WAL, W-A-L. This is a decentralized storage protocol by the Miston Labs team, which of course is the same team behind SUI and DeepBook. We've covered Walrus quite a bit recently. You can check out some of our recent videos for more information and more in-depth analysis of that. Pudgy Penguins actually store their stickers and GIFs on Tusky. In turn, Walrus powers Tusky. Now, the WAL token, again, W-A-L, is down, but through no fault of its own. If you like this project, it could represent a good entry point for you. We also have DeepBook, D-E-E-P. This is another protocol to keep an eye on. It is the backbone of SUI's DeFi ecosystem. Most of SUI's DeFi platforms, in fact, use DeepBook. And this is one of those that very much works in the background since it doesn't have its own platform or app. DeepBook uses an on-chain order book, so it kind of feels like you're trading on a centralized exchange, but while being on a DEX, a decentralized exchange. And you can find DeepBook on either Turbos or Cetus. The DEEP token was up about 15% yesterday. However, as we see right now, it's down a little over 6% on the day. We're sitting at a price of just above 18 cents. Last but not least here, we're looking at Heidel Protocol, whose token is Heidel, H-A-E-D-A-L. This one deserves a special mention. It is a liquid staking platform. Its Heidel token was up 43% yesterday. It's down on the day right now, down over 11%. The exuberance there was kind of crashed by the news that we saw out of Cetus, unfortunately. But the Heidel token launched less than a month ago. This is a good project. It's getting a lot of attention as of late. Kind of bad timing now as I show it off, given the circumstances and the news, but check this one out. Relatively low market, very low market cap, I should say, $32.4 million. This certainly deserves a mention, and we want to highlight it because nobody's really talking about it yet, but you may want to keep it on your radar.